Alright, so hello everybody, this is Fireknight 3 and we're getting ready to do the playoffs predictions real quick. So I'll just go over some basic things because I don't really have that much time at the current moment. And I should have done this yesterday, but what can you do? Anyway, so I'll just say this. Week 17, I got 9 out of 16 games correct, going 9-7. And my end results for the entire season ended up being 11-3-3. There were 3 weeks where I was neither majority right or majority wrong. I went neutral. There were 3 weeks where I was more wrong than I was right. But out of all those weeks, I ended up being correct for I guess 11. Yeah, I find that a little strange that I was right 11 times because I only. Oh wait, yeah, that does come up 17. Never mind, my mistake. Anyway, so yeah, I was right for 11 weeks. So that's actually good. That's really good. Anyhow, and then next to that, you'll see that I have 6-6. That's my prediction for who would have made the playoffs all the way from the beginning of the season. If you look at my week 1 video, you'll see that 6 of the teams that made it to the playoffs I correctly guessed, but the other 6 teams I did not guess correctly. The 6 teams that I had correct from the NFC, I had 3 teams that I guessed correctly would make it to the playoffs this season: the Seahawks, the Giants, and the Packers. When it came to the AFC, the ones I got correct were the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Texans. So without further ado, I'll just go ahead and say what I think is going to happen in this particular playoff season. First off, I think Texans, who went 9-7 and were number one team in the AFC South, I think they're going to lose to the Raiders for multiple reasons. 2 teams with quarterback issues, but with very powerful defenses. Since both defenses are super powerful, you have to look at the team that has the better offensive ability. And despite the fact that Connor Cook struggled last week, he was literally thrown out onto the field without experience on an actual NFL field, and they were going up against the 2015 defense that won the Super Bowl. So you can't expect that much from a third stringer right off the gate like that. But with more practice and with Matt McGloin serving as his backup, I think the Raiders are going to have a better chance at actually beating the Texans than the Texans do beating them, because the Texans are going to be relying on Osweiler since Savage is injured. And, well, Osweiler is just not that dependable at getting the ball down the field. What's even worse is it's going to be a grudge match between them from what happened in Mexico City, and I think the results are just going to be the same. So that's what I got there. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins, who were the second best team in the AFC East with a 10-6 record, losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is another grudge match, and I think the Steelers are going to definitely be able to beat the Dolphins because, A, the Dolphins' defense is not going to be that good up against all the weapons that Pittsburgh has between Ben, Brown, and Bell. And not to mention the other weapons that they have when it comes to Eli Rogers, D'Angelo Williams, and Jesse James. This is a super powerful offensive team that not even Miami is going to be able to stop unless they manage to re-injure Big Ben, which is the only reason why they won that game back in week 6. But I doubt that's going to happen. This is a powerful team that's going to be able to stop Miami defense and Miami offense, despite the fact that they might have a few advantages, especially with Jay Ajayi over Pittsburgh's defense, is not going to be able to overcompensate. So, as far as I'm considered, Miami gets knocked out while at Kirk round. Next up, we have the New York Giants, who were the second best team in the NFC East with 11-5 record. I don't see them beating the Packers. I just don't, especially at Lambeau Field. It's not going to happen. Our defense may be able to shut Aaron down for a bit, but our offense has not been clicking the way that it needs to in order to actually, show progress. Now, granted, this is the playoffs. The Giants tend to play a lot differently here, and Eli has plenty of experience in playoff positions, but the Packers are just too powerful, especially offensively at the current moment. Even if our defense manages to show up, I don't think our offense is going to be able to show up enough up against the Packers defense, which is going to be incredible. So I have to say it, and I don't like to say it, but I don't think the Giants are going to make it past wild card. And then finally, we have the Seahawks, who I think, despite being number one team in the NFC West with a 9-6-1 record, I think they're going to be upset at home by the Lions. Simply put, I don't know what's been going on with the Seahawks offense. Yes, they won up against San Francisco, but they only won by a field goal. This is a team that's struggling, and the reasons are not 100% clear. Yes, Lockett is injured, but at the same time, that should not really matter. They have plenty of other weapons, and Russell Wilson's a great quarterback. It's just that what's wrong with him? And what's wrong with their defense? The defense did not show up. I mean, if those problems go into the playoffs up against the Lions, who almost beat the Packers, I'm sorry, I do not think the Seattle Seahawks are going to be able to beat them. Next up, divisional matchups. The Atlanta Falcons, I believe, are going to lose, despite having that bye, despite being number one team in the NFC South with 11-5 record. I doubt they're going to be able to beat the Packers, simply because again of the defense. Yes, the Flying Falcons have one of the best scratch that. I think the best offense in the entire league, with the amount of weapons that they have and the amount of points that they're able to score. Their defense, however, is just trash. Their defense will not be able to stop Green Bay, and Green Bay's defense will be able to stop Atlanta's offense. All in all, Green Bay is such a better rounded team that think of it this way. They're a team that's more balanced, whereas the Falcons are really lopsided only on offense. So that's why I think they'll lose in divisional matchups. Detroit Lions, 9-7, second best team in the NFC North, I believe will lose to Dallas Cowboys. Simply put, Dallas defense may be able to stop their offense. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I can definitely say that the Detroit defense will not be able to stop Dallas offense. That goes without question. And even if Prescott gets injured, they have Romo, who definitely showed that he still has it with that beautiful touchdown run that they had in Week 7 with him. So, that being the case, I still believe Dallas will be able to beat them. Then we have the Oakland Raiders, second best team in the AFC West with a 12-1 record, losing to Patriots simply because, well, even if they had Derek Carr, I don't think they would have been able to beat New England anyway. It's just too smart of a team, too many weapons, too great of an offense, too great of a defense. It's such a great, perfectly formulated team. Really, I don't think anyone's going to be able to beat them. So, Raiders to lose in the divisional matchup. And then finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers, number one team in the AFC North with an 11-5 record. I think they lose to Kansas City. Kansas City's defense is certainly there, and their special teams is the most threatening special teams in the league, without question. Their offense, yeah, a lot of people are saying, it's mediocre. Alex Smith doesn't really throw downfield that much. Well, you know why? He's smart. He's super smart. Andy Reid's super smart. And they don't need to be throwing downfield when they have weapons like Tyreek Hill, Spencer Ware, and Travis Kelce. And Jeremy Maclin. That team is a great offensively coordinated team to the point where I think they can stomp Pittsburgh in the divisional matchup. Then we go to conference. I believe the Green Bay Packers will lose to Dallas, not by much though. Not at all by much. I think the Dallas Cowboys will see the Packers and think, oh, you guys beat us a couple seasons ago. Yeah, we're about to take revenge on you for that. And their offense, I think, may be able to overtake the Green Bay defense. And on top of that, I also believe that Green Bay offense may actually have a little bit of problems with the Cowboys defense. I could be wrong about that, especially. But I still think the Cowboys are going to be able to just simply outscore the Packers in the end. And then, of course, we have the Packers were the number one team in the NFC North with a 10-6 record. And as far as the Kansas City Chiefs go, number one team in the AFC West with a 12-4 record, just a better divisional score up against the Raiders is the only reason why they beat them. Losing to the Patriots. Yeah, all those things that I said about Kansas City up against Pittsburgh, the reason I said those was because Pittsburgh's defense is a big, huge question mark that has more questions than it does answers. Whereas that's not the case with New England. their defense and offense are just 100% better. The only thing that Kansas City has over New England is their special teams. Other than that, Kansas City is just straight up not going to beat New England. That's all I can say right there. And then finally we have the Super Bowl, where, again, I still believe the 13-3, I was surprised at that, NFC East champions Dallas Cowboys are going to lose to the 14-2 NFC East champions, the New England Patriots. Again, better, smarter, tougher. That's the New England Patriots. What are the Dallas Cowboys? Tough, and that's pretty much it. Their offense is not going to be able to get past New England's defense, and Dallas's defense is certainly not going to suppress their offense. That is exactly what's going to happen in the Super Bowl, and it'll probably be a bigger difference than I originally had thought once the scores come out. But those are just my predictions. I know I said that I was going to talk about the other teams that didn't make the playoffs and what they could improve and stuff like that, but I think I would just go ahead and save that for next week, where I'll definitely have a lot more time to actually talk about this stuff. But in the meantime, these are my predictions for the first week of playoffs in the 2017 NFL season, or 2016-2017 NFL season, excuse me. And hopefully we'll see how far I make it. In the meantime, this is Fireknight 3, signing out.